Sports Central is brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Hill. Thank you so much for joining us. On this edition of Sports Central Saturday, the Lakers and Mike Brown have agreed on a deal that will bring him and make him the new head coach. Here to talk about that, LA Times beat writer Brad Turner, ESPN's radio, the coach, Dave Miller. We'll get to them in just a couple of moments. But before we talk about the Lakers, we begin with the Dodgers and the club's ownership problems. Speculation has run rampant that Frank McCourt will not be able to make payroll at the end of this month. But now it appears the Dodgers owner has come up with the necessary funds to do so. According to reports, met the club's May 31st payroll, holding off a potential takeover of the team by Major League Baseball. Sources also tell me that McCourt is expected to meet the team's next payroll in June. If McCourt were to fail to make the payroll, the league would have the option to seize the Dodgers from him. McCourt is trying to hold things together until a June 22nd court hearing, when he hopes the judge rules his wife, Jamie, cannot challenge a television contract between Fox and the Dodgers. Now, to talk about the Lakers and, of course, the Dodgers and everything else, Lakers, after a strong interview last weekend, we know the Lakers really chose former Cleveland Cavalier head coach Mike Brown to come in and be the new head coach. It's really kind of amazing. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Dodgers just a little bit, Brad, because this is really kind of an amazing kind of situation that the Dodgers are in right now, and it just reverberates all through sports on every level.
It does. I mean, you have the New York Mets owner also having problems with his team. He just got a loan. He sold the team for $200 million. For some reason, the commissioner of Major League Baseball gives him a pass, and it's really tough on the McCourt family with good reason. It's like he's holding the team together with spit and tape. That doesn't quite work. So I wonder how this all proceeds. Will MLB make the Dodgers be sold, or will they allow Frank McCourt to keep the team?
But, Coach, does it seem like there's some preferential treatment here that's being given to the people in New York as opposed to Frank McCourt?
Well, I think so, and I think the reason is that they don't want to have the Dodgers be a New York franchise. They want to be the Kings out east. I'm just worried, guys. It's my first year in the media, and the next thing you know, there could be no football. There could be no basketball. I may need to interview with Mike Brown when he gets to town.
No, it's really amazing, because now this thing could be in the courts for a long time. But, Coach, when we think about Mike Brown, he comes from a very good coaching tree with San Antonio and Greg Popovich.
Well, that's the point. What the Lakers were very void in this past season was their defense, or lack thereof. And when you look at Mike Brown, everybody's talking about he's just a defensive-minded coach. But let me remind everybody, in his last 2 seasons in Cleveland, he combined 127 games. That averages out to 63 a year. 2 seasons, he had the best record in the NBA. And to give it more to the point of being an offensive-minded coach, he was able to win that many games and had LeBron James with a watered-down roster. This roster is not like Sizzler or Ponderosa. This is more like filet mignon from Fleming's or Lowry's. I think he's going to come right in. He's fresh, he's young, and you see his smile. It lights up a room, sort of like Magic Johnson.
And, Brad, as far as the current Lakers are concerned, they've been quiet, probably because it's going to take them some time to kind of really get their thoughts together about really what they really want to say.
Jim, all of them love Phil Jackson. I liked him a lot as well. He was great for the media. He was great for me personally. The books he gave to the guys, the way he let them play the game, the way he understood how they liked to play basketball, the way he understood how they had issues at home with their girlfriends, with their wives, with their kids. All those things played a part. Mike Brown steps into a minefield here, actually. But from what I've been told about him, I think he'll do a really good job with the guys he has.
And, Coach, when you think about it, I mean, he's been getting a lot of criticism, and he hasn't even been on the job yet.
Well, remember this, Jim. We live in Los Angeles, and all you have to do is look across town to Westwood. John Wooden, it's been 36 years since he last coached the game, and quite frankly, no one has replaced John Wooden. Bartow was a good coach. Gary Cunningham. You look at Herrick winning a national championship, and Howland, who has done a good job, but quite frankly, it's not good enough. Anybody replacing Phil Jackson will struggle until they get that first championship trophy.
And, of course, one of the first order of business for Mike Brown is to get in touch with Kobe Bryant so they can have a meeting of the minds, I guess you might say.
Not only Mike Brown, but the Laker organization as well. It's going to take Mitch Kupchak calling Kobe Bryant, Jimmy Buss calling Kobe Bryant, and perhaps even Laker owner Jerry Buss, because no one has reached out to Kobe as of the time signing took place. That hasn't happened because he is a star. I believe he should have been consulted. He's told, look, we're going in this direction. We're reconsidering Mike Brown. What do you think of that?
Coach, What about a shakeup of this team? Or should be just a couple of minor changes?
Well, it depends what you call minor and what you call shakeup. Because when I look at this team, there has to be an infusion of youth at the point guard position. There's no doubt about it. They've got to figure out how to get Ray Felton, maybe DJ Augustine. Then the second void I look at, they really did not have a shooter that could stretch out the floor. I would have loved to have Peja Stojakovic, who I coached in New Orleans. And then, do you want to give up Andrew Bynum? I don't. I want to try and see if he can become an elite center. The way he started post All-Star break in those 18 games, he was elite. He didn't let his shot attempts affect him. He patrolled the paint. He grabbed rebounds out of his area. Those are the things I think that need to be addressed. But first and foremost, a quick tip to Mike Brown. You're never too busy with your family to get in touch with Kobe Bryant. For 25 years, I coached this game, and I've lived a great life. No one came in front of my family when it came to my team. Kobe Bryant will be his most important son.
That's good advice coming from these gentlemen, that is for sure. And, of course, we'll talk more about the Lakers a little bit later on. Talk about Dirk Nowitzki. We've never seen a big man like this who has the talents that he has.
You won't. This is a guy that has a skill set of a guard in a 7-footer's body. And when you look at this Dallas team, guys, what has impressed me the most, it's not been their defense, which is much better. It's been their offense, because very seldom do you ever find an NBA team that has no agenda in who shoots the ball. When you look at their ball movement, it's crisp. When you look at their dribble penetration, they're always trying to find that open shooter. And when you look at Dirk, that shot he takes, it's almost impossible to block. Those aren't playground shots. Those are shots that he works on with his personal trainer. Then when you look at the Dallas bench, that's what I think the key is going to be. You've got guards that can come in Terry and Stojakovic that can light it up. You've got also Haywood. You've got Tyson Chandler, one of our locals here in Southern California from Dominguez High School, that has brought an edge defensively. I like the ingredients of this team. I'm picking the Mavericks to win the championship.
Ooh.
Wow, Coach.
Really?
Coach.
Yes.
If that's so, that means that LeBron, who probably will be on Dirk Nowitzki, is not going to do a good job, because Nowitzki's been tearing it up.
I love Dirk when he does that one leg thing, shoulder thing. I mean, all those playground.
You're not dancing, man.
He dances out there sometimes.
Okay.
He get a little shoulder here, a little bump here. I am picking the Miami Heat to win, because I think their defense is just too good, too consistent, and because they have 3 superstars versus 1. And I'll give Jason Kidd a quarter of a superstar because he has slowed down. But I think that because of the great players Miami has, they find a way to win this series.
I'm going with the team. I know they got the big 3.
All right.
But I know this. It's not singles tennis. It's not doubles tennis. This is a game where you're rewarded for playing on both sides of the ball. And I like the karma that Dirk and his Mavericks have.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Miami and Dallas, is Tuesday down in Miami. And to start with you, Brad, it's really going to be crazy down in Miami, because this is what they've been expecting to happen all year.
Well, Jim, welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
They'll get started down in Miami.
Will Smith, yeah.
Now, it'd be fun to see. I think it'd be like a little boxing match. They'll check each other out. They'll push, they'll shove, they'll shoot. They'll see what works, what doesn't work. But game 1, I expect the Heat to win the first game, Coach.
Well, I'm going to get jiggy with it myself with Will Smith and company. I'm looking at a couple things in this game. Can Dallas go in and win the battle of points in the paint? When you look at Miami, they've got a weakness. That's what I'm looking for, Jim.
And that, we hope, will be the end of this particular program as we get jiggy with it and dance right on out of here. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Sports Central Saturday, everybody. I'm Jim Hill. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
Sports Central is brought to you by your Southern California Hyundai dealers.